Friends, on behalf of Mighty Cat Life Foundation, we extend a very hearty welcome to all of you for this exciting series on the Bhagavad Gita. And today we have the second session. I request Uday Acharya to please come forward and take over the session. Sir, floor is open to you, sir.
As usual, we start with a prayer. Okay. Can you see me on video?
No, we cannot see you, sir.
Yeah, we cannot see you.
We can
Okay.
listen to you, but
Ajay, now you can see me.
no.
No?
Now,
Yeah, now we can see.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. As usual, we'll start with the prayer. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Kadavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti 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 Gajananam Bhutaganadisevitam Kapitta Phalasarabhakshitam Umasutam Shokavinashakaranam Namami Vigneshwarapada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhirbhavatu Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganashadasham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Triguణarahitam Satkutam Tam Namami Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityurmukshiyam Amritat Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityurmukshiyam Amritat Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityurmukshiyam Amritat. Sada Smedavakram Kripapurnanetram Sthiram Dinamitram Janapriti Suvijnata Shastram Kashayaptavastram Dayananda Rupam Madacharya Mide Dayananda Rupam Madacharya Mide. I introduced the first verse of the Dhyana Shlokas. Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Vritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaധ്യായിനീം Ambatvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavatveshini. It is said that if all the Upanishads that are part of the Veda, they were cows. Okay. Sarva Upanishado Gavaha Dogdha Gopala Nandanaha. Krishna would be the one who milks the cow. He is the cowherd. Partho Vatsaha Sudhir Bhokta. Arjuna would be the calf who enjoys that milk. And the people who study the Bhagavad Gita, Sudhihi. So people who are mature people, who are really knowing the value of Bhagavad Gita, these wise people are the beneficiaries. Partha is enjoying the milk, but all of us, we are benefiting from this Bhagavad Gita. Dugdam Gitamritam Mahat. what is the milk of the Upanishad? That is the Gita Amritam, the nectar of the Gita. The Gita is like nectar. In olden times, the Devas and Danavas, they fought to get this nectar. And they came together to churn the Milky Ocean, so that this Amrita would come out. Bhagavad Gita is Amritam. Once you taste it, it remains with you. It is so fascinating. The more you go into it, the more you see the implications of it. Right? So this Gita is a milk. If all the Upanishads are cows, then Gita is a milk. Krishna is a milkman. Arjuna is a calf who enjoys this teaching. And we all are partaking of it. Sudhir Bhokta. Okay. Sarvopanishado gavo dogdha gopalanandanaha partho vatsa sudhir bhokta dugdham gitambritam mahat. Sarvopanishado gavo dogdha gopalanandanaha partho vatsa sudhir bhokta dugdham gitambritam mahat. Last time I shared with you the story of Mahabharata, but it was more of an outline. There are many heroes in Mahabharata. I thought in every episode I'll talk about one particular character of the Mahabharata. Today I'll be talking on Vyasa. So Vyasa is the one who composed the Mahabharata. Vyasa, his name is actually Krishna Dvaipayana. So Krishna Dvaipayana, he was born in an island, so Dvipa. So being born in an island, he's called Dvaipayana. And his name was Krishna. So Krishna, because he was dark, his mother was a fisherwoman. And he was the son of Parashara. Parashara was a sage. Parashara met this girl, Matsyagandha. If you remember, last time we also talked about Matsyagandha as being the stepmother for Bhishma. Right? So Matsyagandha and Parashara. So when Matsyagandha was ferrying Parashara in a boat, she was taking him to an island, and there both of them fell in love, and out of their love Vyasa was born. So he was born in the island. Vyasa grew up with his father Parashara, and Matsyagandha continued to ferry people in this river, or I think it's a river only, until one day she met King Shantanu, and as you know the story, they got married. Vyasa was a person who was directly related to all the Pandavas, not only through Matsyagandha, but also as a blood relative. So he came in when the family of Shantanu. So Shantanu's son Bhishma, he refused to get married. So Matsyagandha's two children, so Vichitra Virya and Chitrangada. Okay, now Chitrangada died in a war when he was very young. I think he fought with the Gandharvas and he died. He did not have an issue. Vichitravirya also was not married. He was very young when he ascended the throne of Hastinapura. So Bhishma had to take care of him. Now when he was of a marriageable age, Bhishma brought two girls, Ambika and Ambalika. Okay, Ambika and Ambalika. So they were having a Swayamvara in their father's place. So Bhishma went and captured this Ambika, Ambalika, and one more girl, Amba. Okay. But Amba was in love with somebody else, so Bhishma sent her away. Whereas Ambalika and Ambika, they got married to Vichitravirya. Now, both of them didn't have children. So both Ambika and Ambalika didn't have children. So in fact, the Hastinapur cannot afford not to have a king. So after this Vichitravirya, there was no follower, successor. So Vichitravirya also, so in the process of time, he died without children. So now Matsyagandha, Bhishma and Vyasa, so they all sat together and decided how to continue the line. There is no king, either we can adopt someone or there must be some other means. So they refer to the scriptures and they said there is an old system called Niyoga. Niyoga means a blood relative of the father can you can say have a union with the wife of the dead person. That is Vichitravirya is no more, he is dead. So he has two brothers. One was Bhishma, a stepbrother. One was Vyasa, also a stepbrother through his mother. Bhishma, stepbrother through father. Vyasa, stepbrother through the mother. So they said the stepbrother or some immediate relative can have a union with the mother. There are two mothers now. Bhishma immediately refused. He said, I have given a promise. I cannot back up from that. Vyasa was not very comfortable. He says, I am a sadhu, so please don't involve me. But Matsyagandha and Bhishma, so they said, you are the right person. You are the closest relative. So please, for our sake, you can carry out this Niyoga process. So Vyasa agreed and he went to Ambika when she was ready for this union. In the night, he goes to her and she was disgusted at the appearance of Vyasa with his beard and his maybe paunch also, whatever. She closed her eyes and in the union, Dhritarashtra was born. Now, because she closed her eyes, it is said that Dhritarashtra was born blind. Right? And now, when it came to the second queen, so Ambalika, so she was frightened of this person, Vyasa, again because of his appearance, and she became very pale. So her son was Pandu. Pandu was a very pale, sickly child. Right? So now Pandu also is a sick child and Dhritarashtra also is blind. So the first queen was asked to have a second baby, again through Niyoga, and she refused. She did not refuse, but she didn't want this union, so she sent her servant instead. The servant was very devoted to Veda Vyasa, and she was in ecstasy when this union happened, and her son was Vidura. Okay, Vidura became a very wise person, so he's said to be the minister for King Dhritarashtra. Right, so now Vyasa, he became not really the father of these children, but he continued to be a well-wisher of these children. So Niyoga is a process where it is only a one-time relationship, and then Vedavyasa moves away. Okay. Now Vedavyasa witnessed the entire war of Mahabharata, and he composed the story of Mahabharata. It started with the 24,000 verses. It was called Jaya. Then it was expanded to 68,000 verses. It is called the Bharata. And finally, it was further expanded into 1 lakh verses, which is called Mahabharata. And he composed it in his mind. And he said, I need a writer who can write it down. So he invoked Lord Ganesha. So Lord Ganesha sat down, and he didn't have a pen to write. So, or rather, while he was writing, his pen stopped working. Okay, and they used to have the stylus, the old, with the feather, and they dip it into ink and write. So that thing broke. So he did not want to interrupt the writing. So he broke his teeth, his tusk, and wrote. That is why Ganesha is called Ekatanta. Now, in the process, Ganesha said, I have one condition for writing this story. You should not stop dictating. The minute you stop dictating, I will walk away. Okay. So Vyasa said, condition accepted, but until you understand the full implication of my words, you cannot write. Okay. So he gave a counter challenge. So whenever Vyasa wanted time off, he used to compose a very difficult verse, and Ganesha used to sit down and think about it. And by the time he figured out the meaning, Vyasa had already finished his job and come back. Right? So this is how the great Vyasa composed the Mahabharata, and Ganesha became the official script writer. Okay, rather he became the, not script writer, he wrote down the story. Vyasa is also said to have collected the Veda mantras from different parts of the country. So the Veda was, in fact, not one book. It was not 4 books also. It was a few mantras that was part of some of the rishis. So many rishis were there who had parts of the Veda with them. They had got it from their ancestors. Vyasa went from place to place, collecting all these mantras. He learnt all these mantras, and he taught it to his 4 students. So he had 4 students. He taught all these mantras to them, and also not only the mantras, but also the rituals associated with those mantras. So those rituals were compiled as brahmanas. The mantras were compiled as samhita. So mantras were compiled as samhita. The ritual portion was compiled as brahmanas, and the meditation portion was compiled as aranyakas. And finally, the philosophical part of the Vedas, they were compiled as the Upanishads. Okay, so Vyasa was the one who compiled all the Vedas and he put it into 4 books, probably associated with his 4 different students. So each student was given 1 book. This book was again not written down, it was memorized. The whole thing was memorized. So it comes down to us in a oral tradition. Later, people started copying it down on palm leaves so that we should not lose out on the Vedas. As it is, many parts of the Vedas were lost in this, before this compiling itself. A lot of unknown parts of the Veda. It is said that almost half to 3/4 of the Veda is actually missing, it is lost. So that it should not be lost further, it was put down into writing in palm leaves manuscripts. And even now it continues in some families as an oral tradition. Right, so this was Vyasa. Vyasa also wrote the 18 Puranas. 18 Puranas, each Purana is dedicated to a particular Devata. So there is a Matsya Kurma Purana, then there is a Shiva Purana, there is a Devi Purana. All these Puranas he composed for presenting the Veda, the ideas or the mantras of the Vedas, which were generally prevalent among the Brahmanas. So who were studying the Veda. You have to study the Veda for 12 years in order to become a graduate. So it's not easy for ordinary people to access the Vedas. So the Puranas were given to them so that in a story form, the ideas of the Vedas are presented. Right? So 18 Puranas, this is Vyasa. So Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullara Vindayata Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purna Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha. Okay, I salute Veda Vyasa. Namaste. Vyasa Vishala Buddhe. He is of a great intellect. He is not ordinary person. We consider him as an avatara itself of Lord Vishnu. Fulla Aravinda Ayata Patra Netra. His eyes is so beautiful as a fully bloomed lotus flower. Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purna. So, using the Mahabharat as using the oil compared to the Mahabharat. So, he used the Mahabharat to light the lamp of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so Bhagavad Gita comes right in between the 1 lakh verses of Mahabharat. Therefore, it's like a lamp that is glowing because of the oil of the Mahabharat. Right? Having said this, we come back to Bhagavad Gita. I have a presentation which, if Sen Gupta, you're okay with it, can we show it?
Sir, give me a second. I will give you that co-host rights.
He's all,
If somebody can do it for me, it will be easier for me also. Is that okay?
we have already given you the rights.
Okay. Okay, we start the Bhagavad Gita study with the Dhyana Shlokas. And I just wanted to present you the first sloka of Bhagavad Gita and the last sloka of Bhagavad Gita. So, Pratamodhyayaha, the first chapter, Arjuna Vishada Yogaha. So, Arjuna's sorrow. Now, when you use the word yoga, yoga is generally translated as a certain meditative process. Here, if you use the word in that sense, you will have to say the study of this chapter itself is a meditative process. So what does the chapter consist of? It consists of Arjuna's sorrow, Arjuna Vishada Yoga. The simple contextual meaning of the word yoga here is a chapter. Every chapter is called a yoga. Okay. So either you can take the metaphorical usage. Yoga means a meditative process. So the very study of Gita itself is a meditation. Or yoga is simply, contextually, it means a chapter. So the chapter of Arjuna's grief, Arjuna's sorrow. Okay, the first verse starts with Dhritarashtra and Sanjaya conversing, discussing. And Dhritarashtra says, Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamakah pandavaschaiva kimakurvata Sanjaya. Dhritarashtra asks, Hey Sanjaya, mamakaha pandavaha cha eva kim akurvata. My children and Pandu's children, what did they do? So, Yuyutsavaha samaveta, they are warriors who are gathered together for a fight. In Kurukshetra, the place which is also a Dharma Kshetra, a place where Dharma is respected. Where Dharma is not respected, there is no country. Okay? There is only a population without any thread of governance. If there is no governance, if there is no responsibility, if there are no people involved in running the country as a unit, then it is no longer a Dharma Kshetra. Here you find even war between rivals is fought under certain rules. So therefore it is a Dharma Kshetra. The place is Kurukshetra. The warriors have gathered together. Who are they? They are my children and Pandu's children and their armies. So, hey Sanjaya, please tell me, what did they do? So the first word is Dharma. Okay, Dharma Kshetra. Dharma is important. The last verse, Ashtadashodhyayaha, it's called Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, the chapter of Moksha. Sannyasa is in terms of letting go. Letting go, two types of letting go is there. One is you get away from things. You may get away from things, but in your mind you may still hold on to it. Okay, so Tyaga is not merely giving up physically. Tyaga is in terms of letting go from your heart. When you let go from your heart, you're really free of it. As long as you are struggling with a desire for something, you cannot give up the desired object from your heart. Okay? Even if you get away from the object, you will still be contemplating on that again and again. Giving up comes from the heart when you are mature enough to let go. So that is called sannyasa. And this sannyasa represents moksha. Moksha means complete freedom. You can be completely free only when you let go from your heart the dependence on desirable objects. Okay, so this is the 18th chapter. Sanjaya Uvacha. Again, we saw Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Here, Sanjaya is responding. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishnaha. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishnaha. Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha. Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutir. Dhruvanitir Matir Mama. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno. Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha. Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruvanitir Matir Mama. What's the last word? Mama. Okay. Matir Mama. And in the first verse, what is the first word? Dharma. Okay. So many people point out this connection. The Gita is talking about Mama Dharma. My Dharma, my responsibility, my duties, and my truth. My truth, my, you can say, my commitment. So, Mama Dharma. Again, you can see Dhritarashtra asks, what did these people do? Sanjaya, having talked elaborately about the people in the war, finally he says, Dhritarashtra, the Pandavas' time has come to take over the kingdom because Krishna and Arjuna, they have combined together. Krishna is a Yogeshwara, he is a Lord of Yoga, and Partha is a Dhanurdhara, he is an archer. So when these two come together, definitely no power on earth can destroy them. Therefore, it is a very sad state of affairs that this Duryodhana is standing against them. His time is over. Okay, now is the time for a new beginning. So it is a change of governance. Tatra Shrihi Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. There, Shri is prosperity, Vijaya is victory, Bhuti is riches, Dhruva Niti, and a rule of law that is permanent. So this will be there wherever Krishna and Arjuna come together. Right? So in effect, Sanjay is answering Dhritarashtra, saying that all after everything is said and done, the war is going in favor of the Pandavas. Okay. We go to the first chapter. Arjuna is standing in his chariot. Duryodhana asks Dronacharya, hey Dronacharya, for your sake, I am going to point out the people in my army, and also please look at the opposite side, the armies of the Pandavas. They are commanded by Drishtadyumna. Drishtadyumna is the son of Drupada, and he was trained by Dronacharya in art of war. So Duryodhana says, your student is leading the opposite forces. Therefore, it is what you can say, it is more of a paradox that you have trained the person who is trying to attack you. Okay? And there are warriors in the Pandava army, each of them equal to Bhima and Arjuna in their capacity. Therefore, they are not ordinary people. We have to be very, very careful. And of course, on our side, Bhavan, Bhishmascha, Karnascha, Drupadascha, yeah, Atra Shura Maheshwasa Bhimarjuna Samayudhi. These are the kings. Yuyudhanaha, Virataha, Drupadasya Maharataha, Drishtaketuhu, Chekitanaha, Kashirajasya Viryavan, Purujit Kuntibhojasya, Shaibhyasya Narapungavaha, Yudhamanyusya Vikranta, Uttamojasya Viryavan, Saubadraha, Draupadeyascha, Sarva eva Maharathaha. Saubhadra is Abhimanyu, the son of Subhadra and Arjuna. Draupadeyaha, the five sons of Draupadi. Okay, from each of the five brothers, she had one son. So they are called Draupadeyaha. All of them are in the opposite army. In our army, Bhavan, आप हैं द्रोणाचार्य, भीष्म है, कर्ण है, कृपा है, समितिंजयः, अश्वत्थामा विकर्णश्च, सौमदत्तिस्तथैव च. Not only that, अन्ये च बहवः शूराः मदर्थे त्यक्ता जीविताः. There are other people in this army, all of them who have dedicated and sacrificed their lives by coming into this war. Okay, for my sake, they are participating in this war, not caring for their own lives. So these are the two armies. Now, Duryodhana tells Drona, please take care of Bhishma. He is old. He is our commander-in-chief, but he is very old, and his commitment to me is doubtful because he loves the Pandavas very much. Okay, so he's a liability for us. He is very old, and he's also half-hearted in his commitment to this war. Therefore, all the time, please see that he does not come into direct contact with the Pandavas. So please protect him. Right? Our army is very large, but it is commanded by Bhishma. Their army is smaller, but it is commanded by Bhima. And Bhima is the one who has committed to kill every one of the 100 Kauravas. Okay, these brothers of Duryodhana, all of them, Bhima has committed, I will kill each and every one of them. So they are motivated. Our army is half-hearted. Therefore, we have to fight without losing our strength. Right? Now, Bhishma was overhearing it, and in order to cheer up Duryodhana, he blew his conch. He blew his conch, and as soon as he blew his conch, so on both sides of the armies, so each person started blowing their own conches. And now the scene changes to Arjuna. Tata shvetair hayai yukte mahatis yandane sithau madava pandavas chaiva divyau shankhau pradatmatuhu. So now Arjuna is in a majestic chariot. He is an Atirata. Atirata is the, you can say, a commander of a big army. Okay, he is a charioteer. The charioteer represents the head of that division. Below the Atirata comes the Maharatha. So Drupada was a Maharathi, Arjuna was a Atirathi, and below the Maharathi comes a Rathi. A Rathi is managing a single Ratha along with a few elephants, other horsemen, and foot soldiers. Okay, so this form one unit. All these units together, they form a division. All these divisions come together and form an army. So Arjuna was ahead of this army. And even the army, there are number of armies coming together and forming a, you can say, a coalition of armies. So these are led by Drishtadyumna. Now Arjuna in his chariot. Shvetaihi hayaihi yukte. So this chariot is yoked to white horses. Madhavaha Pandavaschaiva. Madhava is Krishna, Pandava is Arjuna. They blew their divine conches, and Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira blew the Ananta conch, and Bhima, he blew the conch called Poundra. Poundram Dadmo Mahashankam Bhima Karma Vripodhara. Iti. Now Arjuna is addressing the Krishna, and he says, Krishna, take my chariot, Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Ratam Stapaya Me He Achyuta. This is a confidence of Arjuna. Hey Krishna, please take my chariot right in between the two armies so that I can see these people with whom I have to fight. Who are the people who have committed their lives, who have sacrificed their lives for the wrong thinking Duryodhana. Yotsyamanaan aveksheham ya ete atra samagataha dhartarashtrasya durbuddhehe yuddhe priyachikirshavaha. Now these people are going to sacrifice their life, but they are ready for it because they are heroes. They are looking for merit and credit of having fought in the Mahabharata war. Even an ordinary soldier, he wants to fight in Mahabharata war because this is a one-time war. Okay, nobody wants to miss this opportunity to show off their bravery. So, but they are fighting because of Duryodhana's durbuddhi, his wrong thinking. So I want to see these people who are gathered together and they have practically given up their lives to gain glory in this war. So Krishna says, Ji ha sahab, main aapko dikhata hu. He took the chariot in between the two armies and he says, Arjuna Pasha, please see. Please see the people whom you are going to fight. And Arjuna looked. Tatra apashyat sitan partah pitranata pitamahan. Tatra apashyat sitan partah pitranata pitamahan. Acharyan matulan bhratran putran pautran sakim stata. What did he see? He did not see enemies. He saw his own near and dear ones. Now he has got this conflict. How can I fight with my near and dear ones? My teachers are ones whom I learnt my ABC. They are the ones who taught me ABC of warfare. And Bhishma is like my grandfather. I sat on his laps and I played in his lap. They are my Pitran, they are Pitamahan, they are like my fathers, my grandfathers, Acharyan, Matulan, my mamas, Bratran, my bhaiyas, Putran, my children, Pautran, my grandchildren. All these people are there standing on both sides of this war. Sakhi, my dearest friends are there. Okay. Now, I do not wish to kill any of them. In fact, I am confused. I do not know what is the right thing for me to do. And moreover, he says, Kripaya paraya vishtaha. He is overwhelmed by kripa. Kripa is compassion. He is so full of compassion and concern. He is so concerned that I am responsible for the death of all these people. Kripaya paraya vishtaha vishidan idam abravit. So, in great sorrow, he said this verse. Drishtvevam swajanam Krishna yuyutsum samupasthitam sidanti mama gatrani mukham cha parishusyati. Having seen my near and dear ones, O Krishna, they are all desirous of fighting and they have gathered here together. My gatrani, my limbs, sidanti, Sidanti, they fail me. Mukham cha parishushati, my mouth become dry. Vepatuscha sharire me. So there is a tremor in my body. Roma harshascha jayate. My hairs are standing on end. Okay, if you've seen a cat when she's frightened, okay, immediately she becomes double her size because the hair stands on end. So this is what Arjuna is experiencing. Gandivam shramsate hastat. My bow is falling from my hand. Twachaiva paridahyate. My skin is burning. Nacha shaknomi avastatum. I cannot stand. Bhramati vacha me manaha. My mind is spinning. My head is spinning. Nimittani cha pashyami. Viparitani keshava. I see all bad omens everywhere. I don't see any good coming out of this war. I see all the signs that things are going bad to worse. Nacha shreyaha anupashyami. I do not see anything good coming out by killing our own people. Now here is where many commentaries talk about Arjuna overcome by fear. Okay, there is nothing here in the Gita which talks about fear of Arjuna. In fact, it is said Kripaya Paraya Vishtaha. He is overcome by Kripa. Kripa is a concern, a compassion, a concern, okay, an attachment, you can say. So that was the cause for his breakdown. Most of us have such moments in our life where what we have to do and what we want to do is totally different. Okay, people say you are free to do what you want. But Arjuna says you are free to do what you want only as long as you do what is right. Okay, as long as you do what is right, you are free to do what you want. If what you want is something wrong, then that freedom is an abuse. Yes, we all have choice, but we have choice not between right and wrong. We have choice between one right thing and another right thing. Okay, so as long as you do the right thing, you have complete choice. For Arjuna, the problem is, I do not know what is right. Whether I should fight these people and gain the kingdom, or I should give up, retire from this war and let Duryodhana rule. It is not a war between one right and another right. It is a choice between one wrong and another wrong. Okay, this is the confusion. Arjuna is battling in his own mind. The Mahabharata is in his own mind. What is right? I think this is also wrong. That is also wrong. In fact, he doesn't say that is wrong. He thinks giving up the fight and living a life of a sannyasi, going on bhiksha, I think that is a right thing for me. I think this fighting this war is a wrong thing for me. Therefore, Arjuna says, I don't want this fight. Okay? So Arjuna comes to this conclusion. This war is wrong. I want to give up this war. Na kangshe vijayam Krishna, na cha rajyam sukhanicha, kim no rajyena govinda, kim bhogaihi jivitena va. I do not desire victory. I do not desire this kingdom. I do not desire sukha, pleasure. What will I do with this kingdom? What is the use of all these pleasures? What is the use of living also? If I enjoy all this at the cost of so many innocent lives. Okay? Duryodhana is a wrongdoer. What about Bhishma and Drona? They are innocents caught up in the war. They have not done anything wrong. So if I kill them, I'm killing innocent people. That guilt will haunt me till the end of my life. Therefore, I don't want this. It is better I don't fight. It is better I give up the kingdom. It is better I go and live a life of a sannyasi. Etanna hantum ichhami gnatopi madhusudana api trailokya rajyasya hetoho kim tu mahi krite. These people I do not wish to kill, even though I would be killed. Okay, even if I am killed, I will not take up my arms to kill them. Even for the sake of the three worlds. If you believe in afterlife, so people say that if you fight a dharma yuddha, you will go straight to heaven. So even if I become the king of the three worlds, I wouldn't want to fight this war. Then where is the question of fighting for this piece of land? Kim no mahi krite. Nihatya dharta rashtranaha ka pritisya janardana papameva ashraye dasmat hatvaitan atatainaha. By killing the sons of Dhritarashtra, what satisfaction will I get? In fact, I will get the reverse. I will get sin of killing innocent people. I will get the sin of destroying our entire race. In the process, all our traditions, all our customs, everything will go into the grave. Right? तो हमारे संप्रदाय, हमारा संस्कार, ये सब पानी में चले जाएगा. हमारे में कोई रहेगा नहीं to carry on this samskaras. Therefore, we will end up in papa. I'm responsible for destroying this entire race. I will get papa. Not only I will get papa, but all the people, our ancestors, they depend on us for giving tarpan and shraddha, the rice pindam. They are all dependent on us. If we don't live to honor them, then they will also miss out on the, what you can say, our offering. So they will also not enjoy in heaven. Our children, of course, will lose all traditions. Therefore, they will also go into Naraka. They will also live a life of papa. There is no dharma. If people who respect dharma are dead, then there is no more dharma. What are we fighting for? We are fighting for righteousness. But we are killing off all the people who believe in righteousness. So what will remain? Only the wrong people will survive. Utsanna kula dharmanam manushyanam janardana narake aniyatam vasaha bhavati iti anushushramaha. So when all the traditions of our culture, our family, our country, all those traditions are destroyed, after death, we will surely go to Naraka, we will go to hell. Thus, we have heard from our teachers, from our Shastras. Therefore, I don't want to commit this sin of destroying our family. Yadi mam apratikaram ashastram shastraparnayaha dharta rashtraha rane hanyoho tanme kshemataro bhavet. I think if Duryodhana kills me in war, that would be much better. I refuse to pick up arms and fight. If unarmed, I stand up and put a white flag, and Duryodhana does not accept that surrender and he shoots me down. Okay, so I would accept that. That is a much better solution than me standing up and fighting this war. Now Krishna is listening to all this and he says, Arjuna, क्या हो गया तुमको? ऐसा गलत बात किसने सिखाया? आप तो पंडित जैसा बोल रहे हैं, लेकिन पांडित्य किधर भी दिखता नहीं। अशोचान अन्वशोचत कुतस्त्वा कश्मलमिदम विषमे समुपस्थितम। ये कैसा kashmalam? Kashmalam is pollution. So what kind of pollution has got into your head? Vishame samupastitam. So this type of thinking is okay if you are talking philosophy. But here you are standing in front of the enemy and you are ready for battle. So Vishame. So this is not the place for philosophy. This is a place to stand up and fight. If you don't fight, anarya justam aswargyam akirtikaram arjuna. So it will not be a honorable thing for you. It is anarya justam. An honorable arya will not behave like this. Aswargyam. It will not give you punya and take you to heaven. And akirtikaram. It will not give you honor. It will give you dishonor. Hey Arjuna, आप जो बोल रहे हैं ये तो मेरे समझ के बाहर है, क्योंकि आर्य पुरुष ऐसा बात ही कर नहीं सकते हैं. Anybody who follows dharma will not talk like you, and anybody who respects honor will not speak such words which can be used by the enemy. They will make fun of you and they will say Arjuna was frightened of her, therefore he gave up this fight. Okay, your enemies will exploit your sentiment and say you were a victim of fear. Even though you are not struggling with fear, you are struggling with kripa. Okay, you are having a great sense of guilt and sorrow, but the enemies will not see the good side of you. They will project you as a person who ran away from war. Therefore, do not behave like a eunuch. Arjuna spent 1 year in hiding, dressed up like a eunuch. Okay, so Krishna reminds him as that, do not behave like a eunuch. A man will fight, a woman also will fight in her own way. But you are neither a man nor a woman. Therefore, this is not fitting for you. So, Arjuna, he sits down and says, Krishna, now I am confused. Previously, I thought if I don't fight the war, that is the right thing to do. But now you tell me that is also wrong. If I fight, it is wrong. If I don't fight, that is also wrong. Now I am confused. Guru na hatvahi mahanubhavan shreyo bhoktum bhaiksham api iha loke. Hatvartha kamanstu guru nihaiva bhunjiya bhogan rudira pradigdan. So I would prefer to live a life of a sadhu living on bhiksha. I think that will give me Shreyas. Shreyas is the ultimate good. Okay, I don't want this kingdom. I don't want heaven also. I want the ultimate good, that is Shreyas. That Shreyas I think I can get only by living a life of a sannyasi. So by meditation and prayer. And not only that, prayer will give me enlightenment, it will also prevent me from killing my near and dear ones, my own teachers. So I would prefer not to kill them and live a life of a sadhu. Hatvartha kamansu guru nihaiva. In case I have to kill my own teachers to fulfill my duty, Bhunjiya Bhogan, I will be experiencing all comforts, but stained with blood. Rudira Pradigdan. It will be stained with that blood. So whenever I enjoy any comforts, I will always remember that this came at the cost of killing my own teachers. So I cannot even enjoy because my heart is full of guilt. Karpanya doshopahata svabhavaha pritchami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha yat shreyasyat nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyasteham Shadhimam Tvam Prapannam. Okay, I have a kripa, karpanya. Karpanya dosha. Karpanya is a person who is a miser is called kripanaha. Okay, so karpanya is the state of that miser. So how that person has money but he cannot use his money. Okay, if he uses his money, it will lose his money. So if he wants to keep his money, he cannot spend his money. So I am in such a situation. I have a mind to think, but I am not able to think. So karpanya dosham. Upahata swabhavaha. My nature is overcome by this miserliness. Prichhami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha. I am totally confused about what is dharma. I am asking you, yat shreyasyat nishchitam bruhi tanme. Please tell me, what is shreyas? What is the absolute good? I don't want you to tell me this is also good, that is also good. Okay. Please tell me what is the ultimate good? Shreyas. Shishyasteham Shadhimam Tvam Prapannam. I am your student. I have surrendered to you. Please teach me. Suddenly, Arjuna discovers there is something beyond war. There is something beyond enjoyments. There is something beyond heaven. There is something called an ultimate fulfillment. An ultimate fulfillment which can resolve all my problems at one stroke. I have heard of people taking sannyasa and giving up the world and finding peace in their heart. As long as you are living in this world, as long as you are struggling with this world, you can never get peace. Okay, Arjuna came to this conclusion. No matter what I do, I cannot get peace. So if I want peace, I have to go to the teacher and get this knowledge of fulfillment. I have to live a life of meditation. I have to live a life of prayer as a sannyasi. Only then I will get peace. Okay, so for many of us, we think as long as we are in this job, there is high stress. If I resign from this job, all my stress will go away. Let us see what Krishna has to say. This is the message of the Bhagavad Gita. We'll be seeing this in the next class, right? Time for question answers. And yeah, please share with me whatever you have been thinking about the Gita. This is the next 15 minutes. We'll just have interaction.
Wonderful non-stop 1 hour lecture, more than 1 hour. Wonderful, wonderful teachings. Thank you.
Thank you.
Acharya.
Thank you very much, sir. Fantastic. Many wonderful. We have never heard till now.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Just a minute. I'll stop the share. Haji, bataiye.
I have a small question. The question is, Arjuna was in a dilemma.
Yeah,
Arjuna himself was a wise person.
correct.
Because if you look at the background of Arjuna, he was not only a warrior, but he was a wise person.
Right, right.
Practically was a wise. Then why did suddenly the dilemma come?
See, we all know what is right. Most of us know what is right. Okay. But like Duryodhana said, Duryodhana also had such type of dilemma. He says, I know what is right, but my heart is not in that. Okay. I know what is wrong, but I cannot resist from that. Okay. It is as if some devil is sitting inside me and making me do what I don't want to do. Okay.
Yes.
So this was Duryodhana's dilemma. And Arjuna says, my love for these people is so much that I cannot bear to see them hurt. My what you can say, my life was because of them. Without them, I am nothing. Now I am going to destroy them. So all my wisdom goes to the window, goes out of the window when you come across such type of sentiments. This is called emotional overwhelming. We are overwhelmed emotionally. This is what happens. We know as a parent, I have to discipline the child, but I love the child so much that I cannot scold him. Okay, they say, na, spare the rod and spoil the child. I cannot discipline him because I love him too much. This is
Yeah.
also a problem for grandparents. Grandparents, they will, always pamper the grandchildren.
Exactly.
And the parents will come and shout, आपको बोला था उसको chocolate नहीं देना, आप क्यों दे रहे? Right? So our love for them is overwhelming. So we do not know where to draw the line.
Correct.
So हम सब बुद्धि है, लेकिन हमको बुद्धि का वापर करने को नहीं होता है. We are not able to use our buddhi because it is clouded. Arjuna said, na, karpanya dosha. I have a mind to think, I have wisdom, but it is not available for me. I cannot use it. So what is the use of that wisdom? सब चले गया. ऐसी और कोई?
Sir,
हाँ जी, बताइए.
sir, I have a question not so much on the Bhagavad Gita, but on the peripherals.
हाँ जी,
We
हाँ जी.
just heard Vyasa is the composer of Bhagavad Gita. Normally, any
हाँ.
composer leaves his signature
हाँ.
somewhere in the work that it
Okay.
is written by somebody. Same Vyasa, at the end of the 18-day war in Vitru Sahasranam, he clearly says, Vyasam Vasishtanaptaram Pautre Kalmas, he said. But in the case of Bhagavad Gita, there is no signature. Normally, a composer leaves a signature. Is there any explanation, sir?
See, our tradition is different from Western tradition. All our Vedas, they have no names of authors. All our Puranas, it is by tradition that we recognize the author, not by the author's signature. In fact, the Vedas also, it is attributed to Narayana, Padmabhuvam, Vasishtam, Vyasam cha Shaktim cha Tatputra Parasharam. So this knowledge is attributed right in the beginning to the Lord Vishnu himself or Lord Shiva himself. Okay. Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam. So we are not focusing on individuals, we are focusing on the message. The message is more important than the person. So ultimately the message we say it has come from the Lord himself. It is divine. So Vyasa also, when he writes, of course, the contextually there is some mention that Vyasa is the author in the context, but Vyasa himself does not sit down and write, this is written by me. So that comes from a sense of we are connected to the universe. So the individual matters little. It is a wisdom that flows through us that matters more. Even among the tradition of teacher and student, the teacher is important only in as much as he is able to transfer the knowledge to the student. Beyond that, the teacher's personality does not matter. The teacher's personality does not matter. All that matters is the knowledge that comes from him and it's transferred to the student. So that is why we do not have personality cult. Okay, our tradition does not believe in personality cult. It believes in the knowledge tradition. That is why authorship is not so important for us. For us,
Thank you.
we are authorship is important if you think, I have to hold on to this property. But suppose I say this property is for the universe. I have initiated it. Now, once it is complete, I have no more claim of it. It belongs to the universe. So this is called open software. Okay, it is open software. Anybody can use it. So there's no copyright.
Sir, I have a question.
Haji, कौन बोल रहे हैं?
This Kurukshetra, was it the first battle Arjuna had fought with Kauravas? I thought that there was one more battle he fought to save Virata's cows or something like that.
Correct,
Earlier
correct.
he fought.
Correct.
So why did this question comes at this time?
That was a minor war. This is a major war.
Okay.
Okay, that was only a few people. Some people came to rob the cows of Virata, so Virata had to go and get those cows back. So Yudhishthira and Bhima and all, they said, we will join you. They went with Virata. In the process, what happened? The kingdom was exposed to attack from the backside. So the Kaurava army attacked from the backside, and only Arjuna was left. So Arjuna fought against this army, but it was a minor war because it was just one country. It was not the whole country. It was just one kingdom. Okay. Whereas Mahabharata war involved all the kings from all the entire subcontinent. So all of them were involved. So it is not ordinary Bharata, it is a Mahabharata. Yes, does that answer you?
So I think with that, we come to the end of this exciting session. Thank you very much, Uday Acharya ji. We look forward to seeing you next week once again.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
I hope you enjoyed the
Thank you.
story.
Thank you very much, sir. It was very
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm enjoying this